For those of you who I haven't met yet, my name's Andrew Copson and I'm the Chief Executive of the British Humanist Association. Welcome to all of you to our 2011 annual conference here in Manchester. Congratulations to the winners of the quiz last night, at the risk of bringing back painful memories to the rest of you. Yes, I thought so, yeah, okay, all right, okay. Winners, do not identify yourselves. You're going to be in difficulty if you do. We've got a very full day today, but a very interesting one. We're going to be running over all different sorts of responses to the question that is our general theme for our conference this weekend, meaning of life, the meaning of life, meaning in life, however you want to think of that question. We're going to be hearing about science and the wonder of science. We're going to be hearing about religion. We're going to be hearing about meaning and randomness, the reasons why we look for questions, maybe where there aren't really any questions. We're going to be thinking about story and storytelling. We're going to be thinking about meaning through social action, meaning through curiosity, meaning through creativity, and all sorts of different approaches to this timeless question. So I'm not going to expound on that theme because the rest of the people who are going to be speaking today and tomorrow, and all of you in your questions to them and your own contributions, are no doubt better able to take on this theme than I am. I want to say something very briefly about Professor Anthony Grayling, who unfortunately won't be joining us this weekend as a result of some threatened protests that were going to be held here had he done so. You'll all have seen as members that Professor Grayling has unfortunately decided that he has to resign the position of President-elect and not take office as President. He's done that because of the controversy that was generated by other of his activities in his public life, and his concern that that would put a bad light on the BHA by being associated with that controversy in the last 2 years. So we thank him for the concern that he's shown for the BHA in taking his decision, and we regret he's not able to join us here this evening. If you use Twitter, come on, hands up, who uses Twitter? Oh right, okay, wow, so quite a few people. The correct hashtag for this event is BHA Conf, not BHA Con, which I thought sounded inappropriate, so I've vetoed that, BHA Conf. So for those of you who don't know what a hashtag is, there's some other interesting question to explore this weekend with people who do. It doesn't mean quite as much as life, but around here to look after you and answer your questions this weekend are various staff and trustees from the BHA, because although this weekend is about obviously thinking about the questions in front of us about meaning in life and discussing them and developing our own approaches to these questions, it's also an opportunity to meet your fellow members of the BHA, your fellow humanists, get to know them a bit better, forge friendships, foster enmities, if you should choose to do so, whatever gives you most meaning in your own personal relations with people. There's a lot of fun in hostility sometimes, if it's directed in the right way. Inventively and with wit. We've got here our trustees, Robert Ashby, our Chair of Trustees. I'm going to ask you to stand up, actually, as I introduce you, so people know who to target later on. There we go. Robert Ashby, our Chair of Trustees. John Woolhouse, who's our Treasurer, Trustee and Treasurer. There he is at the back. Hi. Mary Porter. Where's Mary Porter? There she is, one of our trustees. Should have had them on a bit of paper. I'm going to forget someone and they're going to hate me. Alan Hayes, who's one of our trustees. David Savage. Are there any other trustees in the house? John Catt, stand up, there you go. John Catt, Michael Imerson, there we go. Josh Kaczynski, there we go. And our staff, we've got, oh, and David Pollock, sorry, trustee. Okay, that's a nice little wave. Okay, thanks, David. And our staff, Naomi Phillips, who's our Head of Public Affairs. You can talk to her about any of our campaigns that are going on at the moment. We've also got Sarah Passmore, there we are, waving at the corner there, our Head of Education and Promotion, and the person whose responsibility the success or failure of this weekend will ultimately be. I think it's going okay so far, sorry, you're all right. What are the... Oh, that's nice. What other staff do we have here? There's Andrew West, our ICT and database and web officer, so you can see him about any incorrect details that are coming to you on your BHA news, on the address label or whatever. I know lots of people get most exercised about it. And Richie Thompson, who's our education campaigns officer. You can identify any staff and trustees because they're the people who have this little rope around their necks, unlike the rest of you who have a pin-on badge. It's been a wonderful year for the BHA. In the area of our ceremonies work, we've gone up to almost 8,000 ceremonies performed. We think about 400,000 people each year attend one of our ceremonies by one of our accredited celebrants. It's been a wonderful year in campaigning terms, even though we've had to face quite difficult circumstances under a changed government. We've been taking action on a very wide range of important fronts on the current education bill, where we'll have amendments raised in the House of Lords this week to try and abolish the long-standing saw of collective worship in our schools, to take on the discriminatory practices of state-funded faith schools in admissions and in employment. And when Lords reform as an issue comes up later this year, we'll be having amendments to get rid of the bishops. Not permanent, just from the Lords, just from the House of Lords. Yeah. And it's been a wonderful time as well in our education work. With the appointment of Sarah, we're rejuvenating our programme to get speakers into schools. We're rejuvenating our schools' resources, which are very much in demand as increasingly teachers who are trained now when they do their PGCEs in RE to include secular outlooks such as humanism. Increasingly they're wanting resources from us, they're coming to us for resources, and we're happy to provide them. It's been a very good year in terms of the growth of our membership and supporter base. Not only have we added many more distinguished supporters to our ranks, such as Stephen Fry and Jenny Murray, but we've also grown our membership and our supporter base to just under 30,000 members and donors and supporters now, which is a massive increase on what it was just a decade ago. The census campaign, though we won't know the results for a good couple of years, which is very good for me because I will definitely have my job for at least the next 2 years until the results are out. And even then, obviously, I'll still have it. Thanks. Because it will have been an incredible success. But the census campaign was extremely good in terms of capturing headlines and getting us into places where we don't usually appear, even the Frank Skinner show. I don't expect any of you saw it. Yeah, one person, 3, okay. Of all the millions of people who see it, none of them are here, thank goodness, because it was not my most favourite experience of, oh yeah, someone who saw it is nodding, so that's obviously true. Anyway, a wonderful year, and you'll see that when you come to our annual general meeting in London on the 23rd of July, if you do, and you'll certainly see it in the annual review that will come round to you all with BHA News very shortly. One of the highlights of this year, of course, is the return of our annual conference. That's right now. And we have a 10-year plan for moving it around the country so that each year we'll hold it in a different one of the English regions and Wales. Next year we're holding it in Wales, in Cardiff. The year afterwards will be in Leeds. And, oh, someone from Leeds in the house. Yeah, okay, great. And in 2014 we'll be in Oxford, where we'll also be hosting the... You're from Oxford, are you? Oh, no. Are you from Scotland? Oh, well, talk to me later. This is the feel-good introduction. There's not meant to be any sort of... As I was saying, English regions and Wales. Leeds, and then in 2014 in Oxford, where we'll also be hosting the Triennial World Humanist Congress, which our bid to the International Humanist and Ethical Union to host was successful. This year, there's still time to book for the Triennial Humanist World Congress that's being held in Oslo in August, if you wish to do so. And I'm very pleased to say that we have with us this weekend the new full-time administrator of the International Humanist and Ethical Union, Colin. Stand up, Colin. There we are. Who you can talk to about any international affairs that have caught your eye. and that we've also got with us this weekend a guest from the Norwegian Humanist Association, which is still the largest humanist association in the world, even though we're going to try and sort that out in the next couple of years. Evan, where are you, Evan? There you are, right there. So he's going to be someone to talk to as well. Just for being Norwegian, really. That's right. It's the only applause of the day. Because everyone else they already know, you see. Okay, thank you very much. The first session today is with Professor Peter Atkins, going to be introduced by the chair of our trustees, Rob Ashby. I hope you have a wonderful time this weekend. I'm also available, obviously, and bear the mark of someone whom you can come and talk to at any time. I look forward to talking to you. Hope you look forward to the weekend. Let it begin.